Hello and welcome to this video where I'm going to be going through the Marquee Players Hut event. I have Aaron Ekblad already. The second he was released, I got him. I won't lie to you guys. At 6'4", 220, right-handed from Canada. He's got a $6 million salary like all the other MSPs. He's got 1T and Warrior. The one thing I'll say is I don't notice this 1T as much because I don't take 1Ts. My zone entries are quite literally just him either going up the wall, going up the middle, cutting from the middle to the wall, or vice versa. And he gets zone entries with rush offense, meaning he is going to corral himself around the defender and make a pass back or make a pass off the boards behind the net to the other defenseman, which is, in this case, Justin Barron. That's how I keep my offensive zone pressure. I always look for the boards over the hard seam pass. For example, a hard seam pass that I usually used to make last year cannot be done this year because of how reactive the AI is, especially the goaltenders. What I used to do, like last year, example for rush offense or zone entry, is I would walk down the wall, corral the puck on the backhand, and whip it across on a cross seam pass, and it would never work because the goaltender would always get the poke check, or the player in front of the net would always block it. It would go out their skate and go into the corner. This year, you can make those passes. They're high risk, high reward. What I mean by that is if you can't make the pass, don't make it. If you know and trust yourself with your passing, make the pass. But the way I do it, if I want a guaranteed pass for a goal scoring chance or just a puck on net, if I'm playing slow that game or if I'm not getting ready many chances, I will put it off the boards. I will go to the forehand, aim it behind the net, off the backboard, and hit it to my other defenseman or my winger on the wall. That winger is usually Brady Tkachuk or Jack Hughes, and they'll instantaneously pass it back to Barron. Aaron Ekblad will get back in position. Barron to Ekblad, one-timer with usually Matthews in front because that is my first line. Jack Hughes, Matthews, Brady Tkachuk, and then I got Barron and Aaron Ekblad. That's my top 5. And with those guys, that's usually what I do. Moving on to the man I just mentioned, Jack Hughes, 5'11", 175, shooting left from the U.S. Again, $6 million, like every other MSP. He's got elite edges and ankle breaker. The biggest thing I don't notice with Jack Hughes is his ankle breaker, mainly because I'm not moving him at full throttle, meaning full speed. I'm using him for more of an efficient winger/center that can really move the puck. As you can see, his hands are elite. Mid-90s to low 90s. His shooting elite. Mid-80s to high 90s. I'm using him based on how well he can move the puck. Yes, he is an amazing forward when he's at full throttle, but what you want to do is slow him down, and you'll notice that you make better passes, you make better decisions, you have better entries, and better control in his designated zone, which for me, since he's on the left wing instead of center, because Matthews is in the center spot, he plays along the left side flank, or he plays behind the net in the corners. And what I do is I take Tkachuk, for example, Brady Tkachuk on the right wing, I rim it around the boards to Jack Hughes in the corner. He puts it out in front for a one-timer from Matthews. If Matthews is cut off by the opponent's defenseman or he just clogs the slot, what I do is I fake the pass to Matthews, get him to bite, as in get the defenseman to flex out, losing positioning, losing control, losing technique, and then rim it around the boards to a waiting Aaron Ekblad with a 1T, where I pass it to Justin Barron, Barron back to Ekblad, throws off the guy's system, and Ekblad bomb into the back of the net, or a tip from Matthews, or a tip from Tkachuk, because those two are in front of the net waiting for the puck. That's a 6'3" and a 6'4" body waiting for the puck. Usual goaltenders I see are Jacob Markstrom, Hallebuck, Vasilevsky, because it's a new event card. Whether it's Bennington, new event card, it could be Demko from the XP pass. It doesn't matter. The goaltender is not saving it. They get it one-off times, but most of the time, it's either a rebound goal or a tip goal. Moving on, Kirill Marchenko. I'm going to get him if the next week isn't good. I've seen the leaks. I have not seen the players. I know the players are leaked, and I'm not going to look at it because to me it ruins the fun. Moving on, Kirill Marchenko, 6'3", 197, shooting right from Russia, age 25. I don't know why I said that. $6 million, like everybody else. The thing I love about this card the most is this right here. He's got quick release and unstoppable. Basically, Matthews, but a winger that can really skate. At 6'3", 197, he can skate. As you can see, skating's in the high to low 80s. Shooting is in the high to low 90s. And then we have hands at low 80s to high 80s. Checking, low 80s to high 80s. Defense, low 60s to high 80s. The thing I'm going to use Kirill Marchenko to do the most, honestly, will just be rush offense. Brute force using his unstoppable to brute his way through on the entry to support Jack Hughes and whoever I put with Marchenko and Hughes. I do need an Islanders player. I do have the 82 overall Bo Horvat that I could use, but I'm trying to look for someone 83, 84, so I'm hoping they release a card in the near future, like the next Team of the Week, they give me one. Or the next Shell Week, they give me one. This card is going to look good. I'm hoping to use him in the future. Maybe, probably by the end of the week, I'll have him. Moving on, Josh Morrissey at 6 foot 195, shooting left from Canada. He is $6 million, like every one of the others. Rocket and quick pick. I would get him if I didn't have Aaron Ekblad. And if I didn't have Rasmus Dahlin from the Check My Game event, I would have gotten him. Because Josh Morrissey is that kind of player that I used last year as a fringe player, meaning he was my 7th D usually, I would bring him in when I knew it was a tough matchup. Like, for example, what we did last year is some of my friends and I, we had a tournament, and we would build our lineups based on what the other player used and abused the most. And it was fun pissing off friends when I bring out Morrissey because of how lethal he can be when you least expect it, based on his shooting. I mean, look, 81 slap shot accuracy, 83 wrist shot accuracy. It is a big tell, but his shot power is more than enough to beat goaltenders if they're either covered by traffic or they're out of position by a half inch. Skating, mid to low 80s. We got shooting at low to high 80s. Hands, low 80s to high mid 90s. Or no, not mid 90s. 91 is the highest stat. I don't know why I said mid 90s. But checking, low to mid 80s. Defense, 88 is the highest stat with 90 stick checking. Nightmare to deal with. Nightmare to have on your team. It's kind of a win-win / win-lose if you look at it from the perspective of someone like, that likes to drive offense with their forwards. Again, you're supposed to drive your offense with your quarterback of the play, which usually is the defenseman that you can trust the most. I know that's power play talk, but realistically, you want to be able to really power through with the players you want to use. I know people that are in my close circle of friends that really like using the winger to drive attack. It's better to have your winger and center set up on the blue line so you can enter the zone, get in deep, go into a corner, or go behind the opponent's net with your defenseman, and then make a boards pass / boards rim to the winger on the boards or the other defenseman. So if you take your left defenseman, you move your left defenseman down into the corner behind the net and rim it to your right defenseman, and vice versa. Right defenseman down, rim it to your left defenseman. In that situation, you have the other guy's players wasting energy by trying to flex out to that pass. Because in the opponent's eyes, in the opponent's mind, he's thinking, if he has a strategy, that's asking a big thing, that you're going to make that pass, and that defenseman is going to bullet shot the second he gets it. When in reality, I'm making him think that. I'm not going to do it. I'm making him think that. And then I'm either shooting it for a shot on net with someone in front, aka traffic, or I put the puck right where it needs to be and a one-timer for the defenseman crawling back. So in that situation, I'd make a rim pass to Justin Barron. Justin Barron back across to Ekblad as he's coming back to his position. Ekblad's got blue 1T. Bomb every time. The last card is Andrei Vasilevsky. 6'4", 228, gloving left from Russia. He's got recharge and showstopper. The reason why I didn't get Vasilevsky is because I'm a Canadiens fan, and on top of that, don't spend early game stuff on goaltenders unless it is your favorite team, unless it is your favorite player, or you really need that position, because Thatcher Demko is quite literally the same height, just a little smaller, with a better ability. In terms of Vasilevsky's got recharge and showstopper. Thatcher Demko has the same rating of sponge and showstopper. Sponge is way better than recharge. I know people like recharge because they fight through fatigue and adversity, and they increase their energy back while the play is going on. Sponge grabs it and swallows it when you need it. That's why I like Thatcher Demko. That's why I like goaltenders that have that ability to just swallow the puck and hold it in their chest, hold it in their glove, hold it under their blocker, hold it under their pad, or in their legs. You want a goaltender that can get you out of sticky situations. Vasilevsky is that exactly. But recharge, it's not going to help as much as you think. Yeah, it'll give you energy during the play. But what would you rather? Would you rather a goaltender you can trust to cover it when they need to and not get stuck in this random animation battle of, oh, desperation, oh, spin, oh, spread eagle, oh, around the world, oh, stack the pads? You don't want a goaltender that's going to constantly switch between animations waiting to try and cover the puck. Like, that's what they do. Until they cover the puck, they're going to keep switching animations to try and get the best way to cover the puck. With Sponge, the second the goaltender touches the puck, it knows what it's going to do. It knows what the plan is. Cover the puck, ask questions later. Again, that's going to be the end of this video. I did go on a little bit of a rant. I do apologize, but have a good one. See you later.